Over the span of 30 plus years, rain, snow, and humidity can wear quite heavily on wooden products in the great outdoors. This post and these fences form an entryway to a cul-de-sac near my home, and it could all use just a little bit of work. Here is a project that I did a few weeks ago when I refurbished the top of this post with the PVC, and then I was able to reuse the decorative ball on top. So this is looking pretty good right now. However, if you fix one thing, then you're likely to find problems that need to be fixed elsewhere too. This is a mess. It's at least 30 years old. It was built when the houses went up on this street. And right now you can see that some of the horizontal boards have fallen apart. The base of the posts have all been chewed up by edgers from the landscapers and the lawn cutters. This piece is missing altogether. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. And it continues for probably close to 100 feet, 80 feet maybe, of fencing. It goes all along down this road, and there's no way I'm going to be able to fix all of it. But in this video, I'm going to try and do an experiment and see how hard it is to repair these three sections. So the post is looking good over there. The picket fence is made of vinyl, so that doesn't need any work. But this section here is pretty rough, and that's what I hope to fix in this video. So I'm thinking that this board should be level. So with the help of a little clamp, I found out where the new bracket should go. And now it's time to start taking stuff apart. This end of the board is still really solid, and it's long enough where I think I can use it or reuse it to replace one of the shorter boards over here. There were just a few nails holding it in, and I think at least this part here isn't going to be too hard to fix, because my pressure treated wood should fit right in here. This whole piece is pretty bad, and you can see some repairs were attempted, but reusing some of the boards from over here, I can redo this side in a simpler way, and I think it's going to look better too. Instead of having this board nailed on top of those boards, I will simplify it, and it's going to look a lot better. After removing a bit of the rotten material, the guts inside are pretty much what I expected. 4x4s, pressure treated. I didn't know how they went together, but that is a really nice way to make a big solid post out of 4 pressure treated 4x4s. But today I'm just going to be redoing this. and that should be enough to get started. This is one of the rails that I'm reusing, and you can see, I think, it's redwood. And even redwood can rot over time. I've got enough material left to make a new vertical piece for the rails to fit into. I'm gonna have to do some more measuring and some more cutting, but I think it's gonna work out. But to get a clean edge for its new purpose, I had to take off just a tiny little fraction of the old surface. And some more sanding and measuring and cutting. This will be the new vertical piece that the two rails will fit into. And these are the areas that need to be removed so that the new rails can fit in there and be locked into place. I've got a nice, crisp, clean edge now on both sides. And yeah, you can see it's redwood. I'm just going to get my jigsaw and remove that area and that area. Everything has been test fitted to see if it matches the new rails, and it does. I just gave it a little bit of sanding and then paint every side before I install it on that old post. I used a scrap piece of wood and a clamp on this end, and then the same thing down here to hold it until I can drill it. The holes are pre-drilled, and that's nice and level. The ends are painted because I wanted to have all the exposed wood covered in paint before I installed it. And once this is screwed into place, I'll come back with a roller and give it a nice new coat of semi-gloss white. And because I hate rust, I'm using 3-inch stainless steel screws. And the wood didn't split because I pre-drilled the holes and countersank the holes. Countersank the holes. That's not going anywhere. Before I do the roller paint though, I am going to put some caulking around all the sides just to keep water from getting behind and inside. Those went in just fine, and I didn't split the wood towards the end either, so that's a win. Yay. The slots on the left were cleaned up before painting, and while that side dries, I'll install the new board on the right. I still need to cut this piece, but once I do, the piece that's missing will lock the horizontal rails into these notches, and the other end of those rails goes into these notches. Here comes the first one. The new boards that I'm putting up today have all been cut to size off camera, and the ends were painted so that water will be less likely to find its way inside the wood and create a peeling paint problem later on. So a lot of this is finished. I didn't know this paint was peeling so badly. and the wood behind it was wet too. So I'm gonna have to come back with a putty knife and scrape off the loose paint and then let that wood dry. And then I can paint that. But my rails are looking pretty good. They turned out okay. I think I'm still gonna do a second coat. And from the top on down, it's looking pretty good. But when you get down here, this wood just never dries out completely. So I'm gonna have to wait before I can do much there. These turned out okay. Again, it'll get one more coat of paint. And there's still some boards to replace. But it's getting better. So, I've gotten the fence about as far as I can get it today. The second coat of paint did go on before the rain came. But there's more rain on the way. So we're gonna take Millie out for a walk. But I wanted to show you how it's looking at this point. This is mostly finished now. The bottom still needs a little bit of work, but I can't really get to that until the wood dries out a little bit more. Millie and Susan are here to help supervise. Millie's always helpful. So basically from that post, that's been repainted. This post has been repainted. These rails are repainted. And now that big post is painted. And you can see it's looking a lot better than it used to. Here's Millie. Millie, psst, psst, look up here. Hi, buddy. Hi, you.
You helping?
And then, so, 4 sections look pretty good. From there down to this section look pretty good. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.